What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions. In today's reaction, I'm going to be checking out a music video from progressive metal legends Dream Theater. And this video could get a little interesting because it has the potential of reigniting a passion that I had for these guys years and years ago. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that I'm this big Dream Theater buff and I absolutely love this band, but there was a time frame in my life where I did love this band. Back when I was in high school, when like 6 Degrees and Train of Thought and Octavarium and stuff was out, I loved this band. But for some reason, over the years, I kind of just fell out of the loop. I have not listened to this band much, if at all, in like the last 10 years or so. But I want to check this out because the song that we're checking out today just won a Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance. And I was like, all right, I missed out on this. We've got to check it out at this point. Now, this song came from their last album, A View from the Top of the World, which released on October 22nd, 2021 from Inside Out Music. And I did hear that this isn't a normal music video. There's not going to be shots of the band and gear and production. And normally on this channel, I use my roadie background to talk about those things. But since I can't, I had an idea. And I'm basically going to approach this how I listen to new albums. I usually come back to this room, turn off distractions, and just listen to albums from start to finish. And considering I've seen people call this song a 9-minute masterpiece, I think that's what I'm going to do today. For the first time ever on this channel, I'm just going to do no pauses, sit here, take it all in, and just go on an adventure. So, buckle up. This could get pretty wild. But I will link this original music video in the description below. And today, I'm once again listening to Dream Theater, and for the very first time, hearing their Grammy Award-winning song, The Alien. Let's go! I just realized I said this is probably going to get wild. Probably won't, considering I'm not going to be pausing. I'm just going to be sitting here listening. The only way it's going to get wild is if I have a stroke because I want to pause it really bad and can't. This will be wild, man. I'm used to talking about stuff, so I'm just going to hit play and we're just going to lay off the rest of it. So, let's go. The production and mixing on this is impeccable.
That countdown in the background was a really good touch. Starting to pick up on some of the time signatures, finally. God, the tones on this are so good.
That did not feel like 9 minutes. At all. Oh, I'm going to have to think about this for a second because there's a lot of stuff to talk about with that. But I'll do that for a couple minutes and then we'll go talk more about it. So before I even give my thoughts, I'm just going to remind everybody that's watching that this is really the first time I've sat down and listened to Dream Theater in about 10 years. There's a lot of releases that I've missed. So, you know, my frame of reference is from basically anything 2005 and previous from Dream Theater. But what I will say is that when I turn on Dream Theater or know that I'm going to listen to Dream Theater, I mean, that's exactly what I expect from this band. There was nothing in this that like was unexpected or blew me out of the water in terms of what's normal for Dream Theater. Now, don't go anywhere. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I'm just saying they have their sound, they have their writing skills, and they stick to it. And for me, that's what this was. However, there were some really cool things for me that I want to talk about. But first of all, the audio production of that. Holy dude, the tones on that are impeccable. And the mix itself was like phenomenal. I mean, there was nothing that was drowned out. Everything stood out. I mean, one of the things that I kept noticing while I was listening is to how big John's bass tone sounded. Like throughout all of that, man. Great tone on it, had a little bit of grit, and it was always there. You could easily distinguish it compared to some other mixes of other metal bands where like the bass is buried behind everything and stuff like that. Drums sounded fantastic, man. I always get like a smile on my face when you hear like the really high toms start going down for a fill, because it's one of those drumming things that Mangini's known for with this band, and I love that too. But I also loved in the bridge section of the song with the solos, the half keyboards, half guitars. I mean, I love that a ton. Now, solo-wise and guitar work-wise, what I do want to say is I feel like I've been unfair to John Petrucci lately by saying, I've said many times out loud to friends and on this channel, I get that he's just an overly accomplished guitar player. The guy is unreal. He's got the skills, he's got the schooling, he's got the knowledge. He's an unbelievable guitar player, but there have been times in the past where I've heard his solos where I've told people, I get it, dude. You can shred better than 99.9% of the people on the planet. Give me something that is like soulful with the song rather than just a shred. And I feel like that's a little unfair because there is a lot of Dream Theater stuff I've heard that do have really good, less shreddy and more, you know, soulful solos. And that's what we got on this song, man. I really, really loved all of Petrucci's solo parts on this, man. Really good feel with everything. Not that he never has, or never doesn't. Not that he doesn't ever have feel. But for this one, man, I was just really into it. I felt the vibe of everything, and I loved it, man, all the way through. God, I don't know what else I want to talk about with this, but there was so much in the moment. That's why pausing during these reactions actually helps people get their point across, because right now I can't even remember a lot of that. Now, for me, as a personal taste, I will say, even for somebody that's played music and that's been around music on tour for 15 years and stuff like that, some of this stuff goes beyond my comprehension. There's time signatures I can't pick up on. It's almost too nerdy. And if that makes sense to anybody, I'm not saying that as a slam. It's like there's almost too much musical intelligence in stuff like this for me at times. And that's not a dig at them. That's me. I just don't have the musical knowledge and, you know, music theory background to really dig into all of this. But it's really impressive that they won a Grammy off of this, because we've talked about this on this channel. Mainstream music is formulaic and dumbed down for a reason. It's easier for the masses in the mainstream to digest it. That's why with pop and country and stuff like that, we get the same chord structures and, like, you know, formulas with, you know, intro, verse, bridge, chorus. I mean, that's how all those songs are, because it's easy for the casual music listener to digest it. That's why bands like this have a harder time in mainstream, because less people can just casually listen and fully understand it. But don't get me wrong. I don't think that they're making a bad music choice or anything like that. It's just that there's less people that have the intelligence, really, and focus and patience to sit and really dig this kind of music, man. And if anything I just said seems like I'm insulting people's intelligence, that's not what I'm trying to do. I just firmly believe that's the case here with a lot of progressive bands, man. I know tons of metalheads that like, brutal metal that has crazy solos and crazy drum parts and stuff that still can't get into progressive metal because of the time signatures and all the stuff that goes into it, because you have to really focus and think about it while you're listening to it. For me personally, I will go listen to this album. I will absolutely go buy this album and listen to it from start to finish to go on the journey. Sorry, you probably hear my kid just going ape shit in the background, but that happens from time to time. But again, this is exactly what I expect from Dream Theater. This is not anything that just changed the game or revolutionized anything for me. This is something that I'll definitely turn on and listen to the house from time to time. But it didn't light a fire under my ass to go back and listen to their whole discography from start to finish again. But that's just my honest input about this. I think it's a wonderful piece of art, not just music. This is absolutely art in my opinion. And I enjoyed it enough to go give the full album a chance. So, thank you guys for watching this. If you're still here watching me just blabber about all of this. If this is your first time here, just know that I usually break down more in videos and talk about gear and production and stuff like that. But if you enjoyed it, feel free to click subscribe. Feel free to like the video if you liked it. Thank you if you do both. But most importantly, thank you very much for your time and for watching this video. I'm on a ton of different social media. I have a Discord server that a lot of us hang on. I have a Twitch that I stream on regularly. And if you're interested, I'll throw links in the description below. My handle on everything music related, social media related, is at TankTheTech. Thank you so very much for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.